what is the Bottled and Bond Act? What
So-
does bonded mean?
So anytime you see a product that says bonded or bottled and bond, so what that goes back to is, what was it,
97.
1897, I think it was Grover Cleveland, passed the Bottled and Bond Act. And what that basically did was that was a way for the government to guarantee that what you were drinking was 100% what they wanted to put in the bottle, right?
Yes.
Now, there can't be any additives, right? It's typical, all your normal bourbon rules has to be aged a minimum of 4 years, in a bonded warehouse.
Which means
The government has to come out and be like, okay, this fucking rick house is cool. Cool, you get a bonded sticker or
and it's bonded by the government.
bonded by the government. So they approve the rick house. It has to be made by the same distiller in the same season.
Aged a minimum of 4
Aged a
years.
minimum of 4 years, right? So that way, as a consumer, you got to put yourself back in that, late 1800s, when you could go to your local, general store, and they would have like a 55-gallon whiskey barrel, and they'd have a tap in it. And you thought you were getting Old Crow, or you thought you were getting Old Forester or whatever, but
Surprise, it's mostly
yeah, they would put all sorts of crap in there. They'd put molasses, they put, what's that, formaldehyde?
formaldehyde.
Yeah, they would put some of that in there from time to time. They'd add water. So this was a way for distilleries tied with the government to make sure that if you bought a bottle and it said bonded, you knew what we just talked about. It's a minimum of 4 years old. It has to be bottled at 100 proof.
Also, the quality guarantee means that they could charge what they wanted to rather than getting undercut by phonies.
Right. Now, fun fact, Old Forester was the first company to ever put whiskey in a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this was actually a pretty new invention, because back then, like I said, they used 55-gallon drums. That'd come from the distillery and wind up in your shop.
Yeah.
And then you put a tap on it, and I'd show up with one of my growlers. You're like,
A jug.
fill her up, please. Right. So that's what the bottle and bond stuff is. Now, minimum of 4 years, but there are some companies, I think it's Ben Holiday, they do a 6-year
Yes.
bottled and bond. So 4 years the minimum, but I've seen 6 years, and you can go up to whatever you want, basically.
In theory,
as
yes.
long as it's a minimum of 4 years, and with those other qualifications. So
Now this is a more recent offering from Jack Daniels.
yeah,
is it not?
it's been around a couple years. So Jack Daniels, we've talked about before. They have obviously Old Number 7, Gentleman Jack,
and a bunch of other
and a bunch of other
Nonsense.
nonsense stuff that I won't buy. But they have the the single
Single
barrels. They've got the barrel proof single barrel bourbons and ryes. A couple years ago, they came out with their bonded series, their triple mash, which, if you don't know, we should probably talk about that one day, because that's got
eventually. It's okay. I'm not the biggest fan
it's
of it, but
it's
at least
a
interesting.
blend of bourbon, rye, and their single malt.
Yes.
Right. So it's definitely different. But like we talked about a couple episodes ago with Jack Daniels Toasted, like they're constantly, Chris Fletcher, God bless him, he's constantly trying new things.
Which we appreciate, because Jack Daniels could very easily phone it in.
Yeah,
with
they
Old
could
Number
have.
7 until the end of time.
They could have. Now this, I think, is our second or third bottle, and we just happened to be at a
Local liquor store.
local establishment, and they had it on sale for $25. So I'm like, yeah, let's get that. So we got it. We thought we'd just talk about it real quick. Let's see if we get a lot of the Jack Daniels notes. What are those notes? Jack Daniels tends to be a little banana-y from time to time.
I think banana bread is
Yeah,
usually
especially in the rye. This doesn't smell super banana-y,
I mean, it's a little bit there, like that banana candy you get in the dispenser at the mall.
like a Laffy, like those runts or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm getting a lot of just right down the middle stuff, like caramels. Yeah, a lot of caramel.
On a caramel, cherry, obviously.
Well, yeah, maybe a little bit. Caramel, vanilla. I mean, what's fun about these is these, for 4 years old, these are a little oaky, if you think about it, right? And you smell it, you're like, oh, that's for a quote-unquote young bourbon. That's actually
So that means
Pretty oaky.
that means they could either be using older barrels in the
blend, because this isn't a single barrel. So this is just bonded. So that just means that the youngest whiskey in there has to be a minimum of 4 years. So
and it has to come from a single distiller during a single season
Yep.
and mature in the same warehouse, where they can use any barrels in that.
in said warehouse, right? As long as it was made in the same season. So who knows what you're getting with this, but this definitely, it smells a bit older. It's definitely oakier.
Well, that's on character for Jack Daniels, because like with the Coy Hill, they deliberately used barrels that they stored higher in the rick house.
At that Coy Hill,
Yes.
it's called the Coy Hill Rick House because it's on Coy Hill.
Right,
That's what they
right.
named the hill, right? But this is a fun one. This smells nothing like your regular Jack Daniels. It smells nothing like Gentleman Jack.
Granted, between you and me, I've never ever had a poor Gentleman Jack old or old number 7.
I know I've had Jack and Coke a million times, but probably not Gentleman Jack. But so here's the thing I was going to say about this. If the barrel proof stuff has you a little intimidated because it's, anywhere from 125 to 138 proof.
And it's expensive.
And it's pricey. Yeah. This is a nice,
Retail, I believe it's $32,
something like that.
$35.
Yeah, we save $7, $8. Yeah, it smells good. Let's give it a shot. A little spicier than I remember. That
I see what you
caramel.
mean about the oak. It's more oaky than one would anticipate.
Yeah. And normally when you talk about oak and bourbons, typically you're getting into, the higher age stated things.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's a little thin. I know it sounds weird for 100 proof, but
Maybe not thin, but one note, like it comes up and then fades away quick.
Yeah, I get a little banana now on the nose. So it's definitely coming through a little bit more.
By the way, why do you smell it why do you smell it after you sip it? What's the purpose of that? I've heard
So
the
that's-
term retro.
That's the retro, yeah. So what it is like when you're going into it fresh and you smell it and you taste it, sometimes after you taste it, the alcohol vapors, as they go up into your sinus cavities, it just helps you kind of, sometimes, at least for me, it helps me pick out things maybe in the nose that I didn't see before, right? That's why they say you should never judge a whiskey just off the first nose and taste. Like, try something once, you're like, that's good, that's funky, whatever.
You have to give yourself time to acclimate.
Yeah,
to it.
acclimate a little bit and then go back. After the second or third sip, if it's still weird, then you probably just don't like it.
Much like that poor copper and cask that you keep trying away.
That I just poured back in the bottle because I couldn't drink it.
Poor thing. They try so hard.
I know.
Yeah, this is good.
Mhm.
It's pleasant.
But
Good price for a bottled and bond, because bottled and bond, since it takes a little bit more effort, it's usually a touch more pricey than a
well, let's
non-bonded.
say this, right? So I don't know where the hell it is, but I have a Heaven Hill. Oh, it's over there,
Yeah.
bottled and bond, and that's a $60 bottle. And so you don't. I mean, unless you like the Heaven Hill nuttiness.
Or Old Forester 1897, their bottled and bond, as part of their Whiskey Row series, that's $45, $50.
Yeah, or you go the benchmark route with their bonded.
That's a good
It's
point.
a $20 bottle.
Yes.
So, you don't have to pay crazy money for something that says bonded, just as long as you understand what, bonded or bottle and bond means.
Bonds, usually bonded, at least from what I've seen, is more often than not used as a marketing term. Like Old Forester, for example, they use it as part of their Whiskey Row series, which is their limited edition. These bottles are cooler than Old Forester 100.
Sure. And to be fair, the Whiskey Row stuff is pretty good. It's just with the price jump. That's why our daily's Old Forester 100 proof.
Indeed.
Just because, with the price jump, it's, okay, like buy it, cool.
Unless you're flush with cash, a $50 bottle as your daily is a little
That's a little much. Yeah. But this
It's
is
a little extravagant, but this is nice.
This is fun. You know, this would be good if, especially if people are kind of like newer into the Jack Daniels line, and you don't want to drop the $65 for a high proof, you know, single barrel proof bourbon or rye. This is a good next step, especially if, you know, with a lot of beginners, if they've only sort of had like entry level whiskeys, like this is a good, for not that much more money.
A good jumping off
if
point.
if it's higher than what they bought anyway, you know, with all the oak and the caramel and you get the spice from the rye grain in it, like this is a great intro. Like, especially if you've never had something that's like super oaky, like a, you know, whatever the Knob Creek 12 or something like that, where it's a very oaky bourbon. Like this, you can kind of test the waters and see how you do with oak for 30-ish bucks. And if you love it, cool. If not, then it's still a cool bottle and it tastes good, and you can just throw it on the shelf and have it as a backup.